Okay, hello everyone. Today we are going to explain about exploratory action research for enhanced teaching and learning. Okay, the integrants of our group are Lady Medina, Elizabeth Ortiz, Freddy Maza, Esteban Pacheco, and Stefany Gallegos.
Okay, now what is explorative action research? Explorative action research is a front quality that teachers can engage in to better understand their situation and take action for improvement. So this research helps teachers to recognize their interests and needs of students. Therefore, it helps to improve the relationship between teachers and students and their students. Please, next. Uh, how was explorative action research developed? This arose during the British Council Champion Teacher Program in Chile in 2013. It was designed to engage the professional development of teachers. Moreover, this approach was designed to be practical and useful for public school teachers in challenging situations. By using this research, teachers develop the ability to reflect on impact issues in their own experience and to explore them by collection and analysis data. The next, why explorative action research? This type of research brings many benefits, which is why it is known and used by teachers and other professionals to improve their practice. On another hand, the teachers can look deeply into possible situations, explore it, analyze, and reflect, and they plan any change with certain that it will satisfy a real need to give a situation.
So there are four clear benefits to undertaking explorating before an action. The first one is to plan an action will be more appropriate to the solution. It means that exploring students' actual perception and behavior before taking any action, teacher can gain surprise insight that and have their assumptions challenged. To the second one, there is less disruptions to teach. It means that the teacher can relatively gradual and gentle introduction into the classroom inquiry and progressively develop an understanding of the research progress. As the third one, we have it avoids change for changing shape. It means that to run their initial explorations, teachers often find they do not longer want or need to introduce and change. So as the last one, it provides an baseline. It means that they can compare the before and after solution. The next slide, please. So the impact of exploratory action research, we have many important impacts, but the most important are overall improvement in teaching. The other one, teachers now listen more closely to the students, and the students now feel more listened to, more valued, and consequently more willing to participate in class. Students levels of motivation and enjoyment and engagement into the class and all increased, and market improvement in relationships with students to teachers. The next slide, please. So we have many steps of this type of research, but we have Freddy, contesta. No quitaste, te dije que no sabía qué decir. So the next step for this article is there are four clear benefits to undertaking exploration before an action. The first one is planning an action will be more appropriate to the situation. It means that in exploring student actual perceptions and behavior before taking any action, teachers can gain surprise, insight, and have data assumption challenge. So the second one that is the less disruption to teaching. It means that the teachers can gain to relate gradual and gentle introduction into the class, inquiring the progressively develop an understanding of the research progress. So the third one, it's avoid change for change sake. It means that during their initial exploration, teachers often find they no longer want or need to introduce a change. And the last one, it provides a baseline. It means that they can improve the before and after situations. The next slide, please. So, as the impact of exploratory action research, we have many impacts, but the most important are overall improvement in teaching. Teachers now listen more closely to the students. Students now feel more listened to, more value, and consequently more willing to participate in class. And students' levels of motivation, enjoyment, and engagement in the class had all increased. And the last one, market improvement in relationships to teachers to students. So how to introduce teacher to exploratory action research? The first one, challenge perceptions. It means that this can be changed by introducing them to short definitions of research with examples from everyday experience. Show the value and practically research using experience and examples. It means that avoid points that can be reformist to run the stories of exploratory action research series. So the third one, encourage teachers to identify the issues from recent practical experience. The problem needs to be from the teacher's own experience or recent experience, not an issues that come from the outside. Use everyday language to explain the research concepts. It means that we need to avoid complex terms to explain this. The step number 5, provide a clearer structure in terms of awareness. It's important to create a clear timeline, but not this to maintain with flexibility since situations can be changed. Actively questions teacher assumptions and encourage them to verify assumptions. Questions them actively and encourage them to explore their own perception and behaviors. Engage near peers in teaching mentoring. Best results can come from near peer mentors, those who have experienced similar conditions of teachings and experienced exploratory action research themselves. Introduce manageable ways of collecting data. We need to use simple tools to collect data. Of course, avoid tools that could be time consuming. And the last one, develop informal teaching running ways of sharing research with others. It means that the oral presentations could be the best options to share the research.
So hello guys, right now we are going to review the nature of teacher research. Well, what is a teacher research? In this case, a teacher research is a systematic inquiry done by teachers with the goals of gaining insights into teaching and learning, becoming more reflective, practitioners, effective changes, and the classroom or school, and improving their lives in all the children. Okay, this is very interesting because this kind of research is focuses on teacher strategies in order to improve children's lives. At the same time, the teacher should hear the voices of children, or in this case, try to understand what are the aspects that children need to improve. In this case, we have the components. For example, conceptualization. which means try to identify the problem and maybe review about more information about the problem or situation in the practicum. The implementation, which is apply observations, inquiries, interviews to get data. And the last one is the interpretation, where teachers try to understand all the information that they get that they gather during this process. Also, the main objective of this nature of teacher research is understanding teaching and learning in context from the perspective of those who live the interact daily in the classroom. In simple words, is to try to understand the problems and situations that people who are working with students every day are living. In this case, we have a cycle of inquiry. So, in the first part is identify the problem of meaning. Okay, then we develop questions and disseminate assumptions. After that, we gather the data. It is very important. After that is the analysis of data, which is um, interpretation. Then interpret data and take an action. It could be like a conclusion or the summarizing of all the information about the data that we gather during this process. And for experts, an action research is a broadly defined as a reflective process of progressive problem solving undertaken by individuals working with others as a part of a community of practice to improve the way that they address issues and solve problems. It says that research is a broadly defined like a progressive research to try to solve problems that people see in their practicums. Okay, can you pass the slide, please? And here we have some examples of teacher research examples. For example, friendship. It could be an important topic because we are taking account students and also with strategies that we can implement, for example, in this topic, which is friendship, a critical incident student of, of two children, okay? It's an example. The other one is same links throughout a home-based program. Okay, it's more important to categorize those things because there are some research which is with a huge teacher um, teacher observation and also teacher participation, and other which is only a practical. Okay, for example, the other one is improving environments with voices and images of families. This is a strategy with the support of families in this classroom environment or atmosphere. The other one is understanding teaching through memories, which is very important because we are taking account students' knowledge and memory to work in the classroom. And the last is children's behavior prompts a valuable metaphor. Okay, those are some examples about teacher research, which involves teacher, family, and students. Thank you.
Okay, now I am going to talk about narrative inquiry. What is narrative inquiry? It is an important form of teaching research where experience is studied and understood through storytelling and narrative writing. Here, the researcher writes a narrative of the lived experience because the human being is usually an organism that tells the story either individually or collectively. This type of research looks for ways to enrich and transform the lived experience of the researcher and others. The next slide, please. Inquiry process. During the process of inquiring in this type of research, change in identities may be experienced. Here, teachers use field notes, interviews, diary, journal, letters, and oral stories as well as autobiographical stories, oral stories, and autobiographical memories in collecting and representing their data. It is also important to recognize that there are connections between narrative inquiry and action research, especially since both focus on the investigation of nature. However, narrative inquiry allows practitioner researchers to tell the stories of how they have acted to improve their situations by enhancing their own learning. In addition, this type of inquiry produce mutually construct a story from the lives of the researchers and practitioners and participants. Sorry. Here, the teacher has the opportunity to shape their professional and to validate, affirm, and improve their practice. It encouraged them to be reflective and to adopt a questioning stance toward teaching and learning. Okay.
Okay, right now I'm going to present about how do teachers benefit from doing the teachers' research. First, to shape their professional development. Okay, to shape their professional development and to validate, affirm, and improve their practice. Okay, the second point is the teacher's voice or perspective is important. Okay, this perspective of the teacher is very important as that of the children. And the third is the teacher engaged in continuous professional learning. Okay, the teacher who conduct research engage in continuous professional learning embed in the workplace, encouraging them to be reflective and adopt questioning stances toward teaching and learning. Okay, this is all for our presentation. Thanks for your attention.